Cowbaby Logic, I'm Little Donna Fiducia.
And I'm Little Donnie Newen.
And boy,
do we have a show?
For you.
Hey, Donna.
Yes, Donnie?
Can you reach your microphone?
Nope.
This is gonna be a long show.
I love that. Thank you, Genghis Khan.
Yeah, baby Donna and Donnie.
Yes, he's so cute.
Hey, you know what, Donna?
Little Donnie.
That's right. But I was talking like this in the little AI thing. Good job, Genghis. You know, earlier today, we had snow flurries in Georgia. That means the entire state will be shut down of everything. There will be nothing in any of the grocery stores. We're going to have to go to some country restaurant to eat today.
Well, there's a run on toilet paper, eggs, and milk. Toilet paper first. I guess it's priorities. Yeah. Same thing during COVID.
But that's why we got the Ron Phillips Turbo Bidet for Christmas, everybody. So we're okay without the toilet paper. Hey, listen, on a very serious note.
What?
I can't be serious.
What? Oh,
I don't see any flurries. No,
it's not snowing yet.
So we're okay.
Okay. So much has happened. I mean, like Steve Bannon says, what, decades happen, in a day, and a day sometimes take decades to happen. It's just fast and furious what's going on. Obviously, all the paid protesters in Minneapolis and Los Angeles and all over the country. It's the Summer of Love. Part 2. They're all paid protesters. This is so ridiculous. Ben Berquam just doing amazing work. He's going to have a new Law and Border coming up, I think this weekend, actually. Anyhow, and then there's Fulton County. I mean, Fulton County back on November 19th of 2020 said, we sort of know of some massive discrepancies. 2 Democrat senators stolen seats, if you ask me. Suddenly, it's amazing how Ossoff and Warnock are popping up all over the place saying we got to abolish ICE.
Yeah,
Gee,
we haven't seen them since they got elected, of course.
I'm actually watching Warnock going, oh, so that's what he sounds like. I mean, because he's never around. It's unbelievable. And then you've got this woman, Mo Ivory, Fulton County Commissioner. She's going full Sergeant Pepper on the whole thing.
Hi, everybody. Listen, I know you're watching the news. You're seeing a lot of stuff about this FBI raid at the Fulton County elections and registrations. I'm on the inside right now. So I just want you to be real discerning about all that you're hearing from people who are on the outside of what's going on. I'm going to give you the truth about what's happening. So they served a warrant, the FBI, this is Trump, serving a warrant to go pick up the 2020 ballots, which are in a secure location inside of here, 700 boxes. The first warrant that they gave was incorrect legally, they didn't follow the right procedure. They went back and they fixed it. And they came back and now they aren't actually collecting the boxes. They are in the chain of command in Fulton County is that once they are archived, they become the possession of the clerk of Superior Court, which is Shay Alexander. She is here and she is with them inventorying everything that they're taking. We, the commissioners, the chairman, the county attorney, are trying to figure out a legal plan as to maybe an injunction, a motion to quash. We don't know yet. We're trying to figure it out. We're getting all kinds of legal advice to stop this because once they have the ballots, how do we then turn around and do something different when they've already got their hands on it? So this is an attempt to take your vote away. This is all about November 2026, about the primary on May 19th and then the November election. He does not want the midterm elections to take away his power. So he's trying to create chaos. So this is what he does, Chaos in Minnesota, chaos in Fulton County. We are a target. Protect your vote at all costs. I'm telling you, everybody always says your life depends on it. Oh, your life does depend on it this time.
Notice the
Boy, was she serious.
the stress meter was
That stress meter was
absolutely
really accurate,
evaporating.
and it started smoking.
They are in full panic mode after the FBI raid on the Fulton County warehouse, or whatever you want to call it. But here's the thing. It's been 5 years. We've had 2 elections since. You really only have to keep the ballots for 22 months. And it really, you can't prove anything without the paper. And we don't know if there were even any kind of windows when that paper could have been destroyed. Our own Sally Grubbs, who's now lieutenant, I think she's like vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party now. She was just a regular citizen back in 2020.
So were all of us.
Yeah, so were all of us. And she got mad, and she's now also on the election board. But she's the one who found shredding trucks the day after the election in Cobb County, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigations never showed up when she called them. I mean, it's so obvious what was going on. It's insane. Okay, so now David Kate and Jason Frazier, who we featured last week, were outside the Fulton County warehouse and caught up with Dana Barrett, who's the Fulton County commissioner, and she is a candidate for Secretary of State.
What you're doing is extremely dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Because you're spreading conspiracy theories.
It's not a conspiracy theory. Do you have $45? I'm not undermining. I'm not saying people are voting there. Ma'am, I'm not saying that people are voting there. I'm not saying people are voting there. I'm saying people are currently registered to vote there. We went around Fulton County the last few weeks, and we see that people are currently registered to vote in places like empty lots, homeless shelters that closed 10 years ago. What would you do if you become Secretary of State to address that?
I'm not going to reply to conspiracy theories.
It's not conspiracy. It's a current. You can currently go on the voter rolls, purchase them for $45, and go there with us. We will gladly take you if you want to go to.
I appreciate what you're saying. I'm not going to respond to conspiracy theories.
How is that a conspiracy theory? It's an active voter rolls. If you're going to be running for Secretary of State, you're in charge of maintaining the voter rolls. Don't you care about if people are registered to vote from empty
Thank you for your
lots?
questions. I appreciate it. I've got to.
Do you think it's a conspiracy theory that people are registered to vote from empty lots, though? Well, I have the ability to go wherever I want to. People are currently registered to vote in empty lots, Commissioner. And if you're going to run for Secretary of State, aren't you going to at least take a look at that?
She's very fast.
Elections have consequences. We are learning that. And that is exactly why they're fighting.
Quite
'Cause they know
honestly, she should be disqualified for that response.
Well, and you've got Brad Ratzasberger, who's the Secretary of State, the fox watching the hen house. He's running for governor. They control all the votes. They control what goes in and what goes out. The Secretary of State is huge. Katie Hobbs in Arizona, same thing. All right, Virginia, this is your new governor.
You are so screwed, Virginia. Good gosh.
Abigail Spanberger. That's when she was in Congress. Knitter, you are so screwed living in Virginia. That's all I can say. Okay? She's putting new taxes on dog walking, dog grooming, gym memberships, dry cleaning, counseling, storage facilities, any kind of event, home repair, vehicle repair, digital personal I mean, it goes on.
We'll keep going
on
very
and
quickly.
on. Tax on vanity sport.
Faster. Read it fast.
For anyone who's been told they just need stronger glasses, hold on.
Thousands of people are improving their sight every day.
Uber and Lyft rides, employer tax, income tax brackets are raising, new car taxes and user highway fee. I mean, it's 3 pages long. This is unbelievable. And again, there were about, I think they said 1 million duplicate registrations in Virginia they complained about between 22 and 24. Nothing was done about it. Abigail Spanberger may very well not be your governor. And then we have a guy who says, well, you know what? What's so bad about what's going on? Why not have MAWA, Make America White Again?
I like white America. I don't like this Somalian America or Taliban America. I'm not into it. Got these damn Talibans and terrorists running New York City. You got these Somalians taking over damn Minnesota. I don't like it. I don't like it. Call me whatever you want to call me. I miss the good old white America with a sprinkle of the rest of us. Some blacks here, some Latinos there, some Asians, you know what I mean? Just the good old days. What the hell we got going on there? We got people praying in the middle of the street. I'm not into your little prayers and whatnot. I don't like it. Clean that up. Make America white again. What the hell's going on? We got kids. Our kids ain't gonna grow up in the same good old America we grew up in. It's gonna look like a damn third world country. Got these people come to our country and steal billions of dollars. Imagine if they walked into Mexico and stole billions of dollars. They'd be swinging from a damn tree. Their heads will be missing from their body. But they get to just hide out over here and just cause chaos and commotion so nobody pays attention. I'm getting sick of it. Elon Omar sitting on what, $45 million? How? I don't trust the voting system. I don't trust anything. We gotta figure something out. Something ain't right. We gotta close the doors, man. Can't let everybody in. You see what's happening. They're taking over. We're gonna be the minority, all of us. Man, all these weird-looking people just running the country, making us the new slaves. Something's gotta be done, or it's gonna be hell to pay. Maybe not for us, but our kids and our grandkids. I don't want to see that.
Westcott, America. He's got some cowboy logic, I would say, wouldn't you? And we'll be back with more cowboy logic right after this. Hey everyone, Donna Fiducia with Cowboy Logic. We want you to stay healthy this winter. So therefore, we've partnered with Dr. Stella Emanuel at drstellamd.com and use promo code 1776 for 5% off. We've worked that out. Again, Dr. Stella has doctors all over the country, in all 50 states, that practice medicine, not politics. You want hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, you want to find out about long COVID, you want to find out how to stay healthy this wintertime with the cold season coming and the flu season coming. Dr. Stella is there to help. They also have mom and pop pharmacies that will fill those prescriptions. So please check her out. drstellamd.com. That's drstellamd.com. Promo code 1776 for 5% off. Stay healthy this winter. Up your D3, up your zinc, and be prepared with ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and drstellamd.com.
Hey everybody, Don Newell with Cowboy Logic. This time I'm coming to you snuggled right up with a 7.3 liter engine. Yeah, baby, 7.3 diesel. F350. You guys with the 150, sprinkle a little water on your truck. It'll grow up to be just like this. Having said that, I'm here to talk to you about the Cowboy Logic Barn Party. 9 p.m. Eastern, right there on Getter, in the Getter chat room. We don't do anything on Facebook anymore. We've been banned from YouTube. We've been banned from Twitter. So Getter's it. It's the only place we're going to be. We're going to be there Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, in the Real America's Voice chat room. We call these barns. And when we get in there, we have a barn party. Join us Saturdays. Cowboy Logic. Just like a 7.3. Kick ass.
The Dilly Meme Team presents Real Clowns of Chaos. Real Clowns of Chaos. Today we salute you, Mr. Sanctuary Storming Journalist. Mr. Sanctuary Storming Journalist. Armed with desperation for relevance, a microphone, and a 2014 Worst Journalist of the Year award. Man, he's really bad. You stormed a church like it was the beaches of Normandy and called trespassing freedom of speech. That amendment won. You made kids cry and cornered a preacher. Ooh. Then went on legacy media to call them privileged for wanting to worship God. God save you now. So this ice-cold triggered Ria's for you. evidence filmmaker. Because when the DOJ comes knocking, you'll finally have real primetime footage people will watch. The sanctuary storming journalist.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome back to more Cowboy Logic
and less Don Lemon.
That's epic. That was before Budweiser went woke. Real men of genius. Remember those? Don didn't remember those commercials. I knew it right off the bat.
That was funny, though.
That was funny.
And do a Google search or a YouTube search because those commercials are hilarious.
By the way, okay, Don Lemon has been arrested. He's already released. But the Minnesota federal judge, Patrick Schultz, who initially blocked the DOJ from arresting him, is a donor and a volunteer for the Pro-Illegal Alien Immigration Law Center, and he is threatening to hold ICE Director Todd Lyons in contempt. It's unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Gotta love those
going
scales
on.
of the justice system, don't you?
So let's move on to the protests in Minnesota. All you hear is what great human beings all these protesters are, like Renee Good and Alex Preddy. In fact, Preddy was a calm and passionate man, or so says Elizabeth Warren.
Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure.
When he bends over, you can see the gun behind. I mean, sorry.
Do you know anyone that takes Elizabeth Warren seriously?
I don't know anyone except Karens with pink hair that take anybody on the left seriously anymore. I mean, the out-and-out lie with impunity. It's unbelievable. The protesters are being bussed in again. It's like the summer of love.
Yeah.
Why don't police enforce the laws? I'll tell you why. I actually talked to our friend Michael Cutler about this, an immigration guy. If the mayor and the governor say no, these guys, well, the police are basically like military. Whatever the boss says, you do. And you'll notice whenever a city or a politician allows ICE to come in, they don't have any problems. You're having this huge problem up in Minnesota because obviously they're covering their backsides because they stole billions from we the people. All right. So half of these people have no idea while they're even protesting. This is epic. Ginger loses his mind over the facts.
Right here on the back, if you want just read one of them, because there's one up here. Mohammed has multiple counts of credit card fraud. Oh, he's Somalian, right there. But we can do Ignacio. It was in the U.S. illegally from Mexico. He was previously arrested for child cruelty and battery. He was supposed to be deported, and Biden did not make that happen. Miguel is a Mexican national arrested previously for cruelty towards a child. There's one guy on here that was arrested for strong arm sodomy against a little boy and a little girl. Those are pedophiles.
Okay.
And so when you want ICE out of Minnesota or Minneapolis, this is who you're protecting.
No, I am not trying to protect those people. I'm protecting the actual people who had not had any previous criminal charges against them being deported. Sure, maybe those people have been convicted. Maybe they should get out. But
how do they get out, though?
I mean, get out.
But how does that happen without ICE?
Find some other organization, not hiring criminals.
There isn't. There is no lawful organization that can remove somebody that's here illegally and committed crimes. They can't do it.
You know what that's called? That's called the police.
The local police does not. They don't deport people. ICE does.
Okay, well, here's the thing, though. Say that, they want to get these criminals, or they want to, convict the criminal, get them out, right? You want to know an easy way to know if someone's been convicted, an easy way to...
What if I told you I paid for streaming once and now I never pay again? Okay, can we talk about streaming subscriptions for a...
Cut your cable and streaming bills to zero without changing how you watch TV.
Netflix and Apple Pay.
Bono, of course, is U2. He's the front man. He's this international sex symbol at the time, and giant selling out stadiums. He did these big kind of USAID fundraiser concerts, Band Aid and Live Aid. The
jail cells, get the people that have already been convicted, get them out, not random people on the streets.
Okay, so again, we're just going to talk calmly here. These people are pedophiles and they are criminals. Give me 1 second before your impulse tells you to interrupt me, okay? 1 second. If you don't want ICE going around, if you don't want them to exist, if you want them abolished, these people would still be in our streets. These people would still be going out and raping children. There is no one that could deport them. They don't have the agency to do that.
That's a real man of genius right there.
How'd you like his mullet?
Hand over the fat. It's Tony, TonyXTWO on X. She is really hilarious. But they're here illegally, okay? The judges are releasing them back in, and where they come back and they basically do it all over again. Mike Benz now. I love the Mike Benz lesson of the week. We can always use that. Rockers, of course, have been getting involved for years, but did you know they might have CIA connections?
Bono links up with Jeffrey Sachs in the 90s and actually a little bit before that, doing this international development work. Now, Bono, of course, is U2. He's the front man. He's this international sex symbol at the time and, giant selling out stadiums. He did these big kind of USAID fundraiser concerts, Band Aid and Live Aid. The BBC later reported that of the $100 million raised for hunger relief in Somalia at Band-Aid, 95 million of it went to CIA-backed warlords to buy guns. So this is like another one of these things where you think you're raising public awareness. Oh, there's a hunger problem in Somalia. But there's also a civil war where you've got the CIA taking sides in that civil war. And these groups need weapons, logistics, supplies. And so when you've got USAID vans coming in that are said to be carrying medical supplies or they're doing hunger relief, but you can't open that box because then the food will expire. It's very easy to hide guns in them. And so when you see these scandals where all this money is going not to make the world a better place and kumbaya and we're bringing food and medicine, but you're bringing guns, the money is being diverted for CIA covert action to actually kill people, not save people. Right. And so Bono was formally knighted by the British Crown, and he met with the UK ambassador after he helped put down the Irish revolt against the British Crown. If you remember Sunday Bloody Sunday? No more war. It's like, you look at it now, he's got the Ukraine emoji in his bio, and the whole thing is war against Russia. But no war against the British Crown. And I'm being knighted by the British Crown. I'm now Sir Bono because I helped put down that war.
I mean, he didn't have to have all these Band-Aids and USAIDs. The guy's worth $100 million. Or more.
Actors and musicians need to focus on acting and playing music.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Molly Ringworm?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. We're gonna
Ringworm, did you get that?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
There's a name you should remember, though. It's Neville Roy Singham, Singham. The guy is almost a billionaire. He's a tech giant, sold his company for almost $1 billion, but he is a total Marxist and a communist, and he lives in communist China. He is loved by the CCP, and his wife is the founder or one of the bigwigs of Code Pink. I mean, this all goes back into a whole big circle, and quite honestly, that's where a lot of the money is coming from. Code Pink, yeah, really. I wish we had planned that, but we didn't. But this is where all this money is coming from for these protests. And I think it was Anna Paulina Luna said, why aren't we freezing his assets here in the United States? These are all highly paid protesters. There's signal chats that talk about how to get this all put together. And the highest people in office, like the lieutenant governor and I believe the AG of Minnesota, have been in these signal chats. So they're in the CYA mode because their money is drying up, including Tim Walz. Which brings us to Bruce Springsteen. I'm sorry. I can't even say shut up and sing anymore because I don't want you to sing anymore either. Go spend another $3 million on a horse for your daughter. She's a wonderful rider, and I'm totally jealous.
Every one of his songs sound exactly the same.
Yep, and let's revisit Don singing Springsteen.
Springsteen song sounds just like the last one.
I knew exactly where the drum rolls were too, though, didn't I? I'm sorry. Yeah, I please. After 41 shots, when he talked about Amadou Diallo, who was an illegal that got shot in a story I covered up in New York, he kind of lost me, and it's sad. It's really sad. Please, don't even sing anymore. We'll be back after this.
Patriots Relief, your America First CBD company. We are Christian, conservative, and committed to helping you feel your best. Are you tired of chronic pain holding you back? It's time for a change. Experience the remarkable healing properties of CBD, expertly designed to alleviate pain and promote internal balance. Patriots Relief is here for you. Visit our website or call now. Use your promo code to unlock exclusive savings. Patriots Relief, helping you get out of pain and live life to the fullest.
I got enemies at every side. It ain't looking good, I ain't gonna lie. Arrows flying, devils trying to make me think I'm going down this time. You might think that I'd be afraid, running scared with the shaking faith, but the God I know says it ain't over. The God I know is gonna make a way. Yeah, though I walk through the valley, I will have no fear, no fear. The mighty power of Jesus is fighting for me here. No fear, no fear. The light of the world makes the darkness disappear. No fear. No fear when I'm walking through the fire, 'cause I know who's walking me through. No fear when the flood waters rise, if I got my eyes on you. No fear, no fear. The mighty power of Jesus is fighting for me here. No fear, no fear. The light of the world makes the darkness disappear. No fear.
And we're back on Cowboy Logic. No fear. Absolutely no fear.
Ladies and gentlemen, for about the 7th time, Donna and I would like to publicly announce that we endorse Don Brown for Senate.
For anyone who's been told they just need stronger glasses, hold on.
Thousands of people are improving their sight every day, all by doing this 7
in
North Carolina.
Yep.
Don Brown, we endorse you, brother.
Yes, and
Thank you,
also
guys.
also endorsed, of course, by a couple other notable people. General Flynn, not once but twice. Sidney Powell, Lieutenant Colonel Adam West. Alan West, sorry. Adam West would be an actor.
But compared to us, these guys, these three are like small potatoes, right?
Yes.
Compared to us.
Adam
I
West.
think the race is over.
I can't believe I just said
Cowboy
Adam
Logic
West.
endorsed, it was all over.
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks, find his all of his information at donbrown4, FORNC.com. And if you don't know him by now, you should. I know he's been on our show a number of times, even before he started to run for the Senate. Former Navy JAG officer, served the Pentagon, former Special Assistant U.S. Attorney, best-selling author, constitutional lawyer, helped secure a pardon for Army Lieutenant Clint Lawrence, J6 Patriot, also Elliot Bechet. You wrote, some 16 books, including Extortion 17, call sign Extortion 17, and Fallen Angel. So many great best-selling books. Because you are a patriot, you are MAGA. And again, we do endorse you along with all those aforementioned people that you're going up against Michael Whatley. okay, who is
what
the former,
is he doing?
He's the former RNC chair. And here's the thing that gets me. Whatley, just like what's-her-face before him at the RNC, Donald Trump was an anomaly. Donald Trump was going to win, period. The problem was the down ballot. And the RNC, with Whatley at the head, in my opinion, did nothing to secure the down ballot. I think we lost at least 12 congressional seats and possibly as many as 5 senatorial seats. That said, Whatley has endorsed Tom Tillis before Tom Tillis dropped out of the race. Let's connect the dots here. Whatley is pro-vax. He was pro-masking like Tom Tillis was. And Tom Tillis, again, blocked Ed Martin as D.C. U.S. attorney. He's now saying he wants to block Kevin Warsh as Fed chair. He vowed to get rid of ICE. So talk a little bit about this, because my opinion, at this point, Tom Tillis is basically making your argument for you.
Yeah, and you're right. Tom Tillis is the reason that I jumped into this race. I think there are 6 or 7 Republicans who are now in the Senate race. Half a dozen, 5 of them or so jumped in the last week before closing out the filing. I'm not sure why they did that, but it's been me and Whatley really since August. I've been in the race since February, so we're going on a year, and it was Tom Tillis that prompted us to run. And Tillis had gone after my friend Pete Hedgesmith. Tillis promised that he would support, and he promised he would support any of the president's nominees who came out of their jurisdictional committees in the Senate. Pete cleared the Armed Services Committee, and the very next day, Tillis began to lobby, his Rhino friends, Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins and others to try to torpedo Pete's nomination. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. That was in February. Tillis was not successful, fortunately, in killing Pete's nomination, but he did go after Ed Martin, who was the president's U.S. attorney nominee in D.C., and Martin knew too much about the inside of J6 and would have gotten to the bottom of it. Yep. Tillis has been a rabid anti-J6er from the beginning, and so has Whatley. Whatley, I'll share a couple of things. Whatley, when he was chair of the North Carolina Republican Party, allowed some dingbats. The young Republicans had a couple of dingbats that just were buying into the George Floyd rhetoric, so they wanted to have a march and let them march to the Republican Party headquarters to protest police brutality. Whatley allowed that. He used the North Carolina Republican Party headquarters as a platform to push the jab. Said basically, you've seen this, I think I sent you this video, Donna and Don, but basically said that, I'm taking the jab, you can see your doctor, but the jab is, he didn't say jab, I call it jab sarcastically, but he said the jab is not a matter of politics, it's a matter of science. People have died from that jab. That was totally irresponsible. Yeah. Election integrity, the NC Republican Party is split because in 2013, 3 years after the 2020 steal, when Republicans are demanding paper ballots, when there's a lot of questions about these ballot marking device machines, Whatley uses Republican Party money to have a cell phone app designed to get him reelected as party chair. The rules required that the voting had to take place in the convention hall, but people were voting outside the hall. People were voting in Wilmington, North Carolina, and even out of state. And that split the party down, too. So Whatley cannot win the race. And everything you said is correct, Donna. He's been anti-J6. He's been pro-jab. He even agreed with Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell went after Trump. Here's Mitch McConnell says, I think the president is responsible for the very strict current work. How's my Mitch McConnell?
Talk back to
I don't know who does better than me or you. But
Hey, all I know is I'm too turtle for the Turtle Club.
Decipher what you just said. I couldn't understand.
Well, McConnell was saying, I think the president's responsible for the insurrection.
Oh,
he was
okay.
attacking J6ers. Yeah. So CNN interviews Whatley and said, Chairman Whatley, do you agree or disagree with Mr. McConnell of what he said about the president? Whatley says, I'm not going to disagree with Mitch McConnell. In other words, agreeing with Mitch McConnell that there was some sort of insurrection when, in fact, we knew then and now we really know there was a Fed-surrection. And so he has been on the wrong side of key issues, made the wrong types of decisions in the moment, and cannot win the race. So We've got to take him down. We will prosecute Roy Cooper's record. We will win this race, and we're going to do it on solid, common sense, America First policies. And North Carolina is not a blue state. You know, the Republican registration has now eclipsed Democrat registration within the last month. That doesn't mean the race is going to be a slam dunk. We're going to have to work really, really hard. But to suggest that this is a blue state or even a purple state to me is disingenuous. Although that's what the leftist media wants us to believe. So, but Whatley cannot win, and we can't let him get the nomination. If he gets the nomination, we will lose a seat. That's really what this boils down to.
Yeah, and we feel the same way about what's going on here in Georgia. Finally, they've raided this warehouse, but God knows what those ballots are going to look like after 5 years when they've really been unprotected. All right, we're going to go into the break real soon, but we got about a minute left. And I want to get into what Tom Tillis is saying about how he wants to block ICE, but let's do that on the other side of the break. But right now, he's also vowing to block Kevin Warsh as the Fed chair. I mean, he might as well be a Democrat.
Yeah, why is the guy not just...
And the same with Whatley.
These people are jokes, North Carolina. Yeah. This is your candidate right here. Right here.
Thank you.
We've known this man for more than a decade. And when he decided to run for U.S. Senate to represent the great state of North Carolina, we got behind him 100%, full stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's the man that you need to send to Washington, D.C., and if anybody else from the state of North Carolina goes to D.C. in place of the man that should, the entire state has made a grave and serious mistake.
So we need to step up to the plate. Money also helps, obviously, and volunteering if you can do it. Don Brown, FORNC. That's DonBrown4NC.com. Pitch in $1 or $2 or $10. That also helps as well. But we got to get this word out because it's a huge machine, obviously, from the right and the left. And MAGA is getting screwed from both directions. And we're seeing that with all these protests. And we'll get to that after as well. Because, again, the rhinos want to kill ICE. We'll get back right after this.
You're not going to believe what this shampoo does to your hair. I've seen men go...
So I just sort of got a glimpse of what was in here. I am psyched. Here it is, folks. Turn it around. My Food Forest Bible. Yeah! Yeah, baby. Pull it out, see if I can get it out of the box. Hold it in between. There you go. Ah, love it. Love it. Love it. And it's autographed. Oh my gosh. How lucky can you be? I'm gonna have to order the one that's not a coffee table book so I can use it every day. This one's going on the coffee table. Love it so much. Thank you, Jovan. Mwah!
Ink on the indictment, still wet with your blood. Judges on payroll, gavels banging like a flood. Solitary key, just 23 hour black. They want us to crack, but we breathe through the crack. Let us fill my daughter, smuggle past the gods. Tell mommy I'm innocent, carved in the yard. You burn the flag of freedom on a global stage. We'll torture narrative in a white hot rage. And you feel the tremor in the prison yard ground. 1,500 souls still making.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Cowboy Logic. Still there. We're going to keep talking about this because we really appreciate the fact that you guys are going and streaming this song. It's got great stream count on it. But in order to make a difference with Stand in the Gap, we need for you guys to download it. And you figured out how much it was. 99 cents or $1.19.
At most like $1.29, I think.
Yeah. Do me a favor, download it. We get reports like every 4 or 5 months, whatever it is. And once we get those reports and we get those funds, every penny from that song that we wrote about J6 is going to go to Stand in the Gap. Every penny. There are no production costs that are going to be deducted. Every penny. Don Brown, North Carolina needs you. Now, like a body needs a heartbeat.
I did say going into the break, it's Don Brown for NC and also Brown for NC, as you see there. They both work. But not the letter the number 4, but obviously FORNC works in either case. Again, folks, support this man because he is MAGA all the way, despite Donald Trump talking about the opposition. And the thing is, the more you look into it, unfortunately, I think a lot of the people that he endorses, I mean, he's Lindsey Graham. It's like it's a point where I think that he's just so shielded. I don't know too many people are paying attention to this anymore. Talk about Thom Tillis, as I call him. All right. Again, Whatley is a Tillis clone, and that's the main guy running against you, Michael Whatley. But, I mean, Tillis has just come out and pretty much proven his true colors. Now he's saying he wants to abolish ICE and fire Kristi Noem.
Yes, Thom Tillis is a rhino. He is, at his very core, he's an open borders rhino. And these open borders, and he's talked about pathway to citizenship, blah, 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 blah. Well, I have sympathy for people, but I'm sorry. There are immigrants who have come to this country the right way and gone through the process, and it's not fair to those who have gone through the process to give somebody else a pass. But Tillis is in favor of that. The reason he wants ICE gone is because they want open borders. They want to bring in cheap labor. He's an H-1B guy, and so all that he's done, when Kristi Noem fired, as I mentioned, Donna, I cut a video just the other day, which almost went viral on Twitter. Tillis says, fire Kristi Noem. I said, give her a raise, but I also call out Mike Whatley. Hey, Mike, who are you, man? The only thing Mike says is Trump, Trump, Trump. He won't say anything about his policies. He won't debate me, by the way. There have been 3, debate challenges, one by Onslow County, North Carolina Republican Party, one by a major TV station in Charlotte, and a third by a major radio station in Asheville, inviting me to debate Whatley. I've accepted. Whatley's turned him down every time. But Whatley won't say a word. He won't say anything about Tillis's obstructionism. Tillis also went to Denmark with Liberal Senator Chris Coombe and with his rhino buddy Lisa Murkowski to undermine the president on the president's Greenland policy, which is a violation of federal law, I'll tell you the truth. And I called him out on that. Whatley won't say a word about it. Tillis bashes the president left and right. And Whatley, who says, Trump, 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 that's the only thing he says is Trump, 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 won't say one word to call down or to call Thom Tillis on his obstructionism against the president. And this whole thing that we're seeing right now in Minnesota is more color revolution stuff. I agree with my friend General Mike Flynn. It's color revolution. They are isolating things that aren't accurate. You have Pocahontas coming out saying this poor nurse, he was such a kind soul. And next thing you know, video surfaces of this so-called kind soul nurse kicking the taillight out of a government vehicle. These agitators who have gotten shot, and we regret the loss of life always, especially with American citizens, but you can't go picking a physical fight with law enforcement. And the first lady that got shot, she punched the accelerator with an ICE agent standing in front of the car. The guy had internal bleeding. The second one picked the fight with ICE. We don't know exactly what happened when the gun went off, but you can't do something that's stupid. But the graphics and the doctored video and the one-sided propaganda is reminiscent of what we saw, when they tried to isolate that video of Derek Chauvin and George Floyd, to try to make people think that Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd when George Floyd committed suicide by overdose of fentanyl. And we've got to be very wise to what they are trying to do. The last thing they want to do is to close the border and get rid of dangerous illegals and others. And so this is what Tillis is part of. And Whatley doesn't have the guts to call him out on it. Whatley is not worthy of sitting in the United States Senate. The next senator from North Carolina will serve 2 years under President Trump and 4 years out into the future. And the question is not who can say Trump, Trump, Trump the most, but who can take that torch and step into the well of the Senate and lead with a set of convictions and courage, and go where it's not popular sometime to go. And I'm going to do that. I've said many times on the campaign trail, I will be the most unpopular freshman Republican in the Senate. I will not bow to the ghost of Mitch McConnell and will not do what Thune tells me to do. If I vote alongside Thune, it will be because we align on philosophical issues. But we got a $38 trillion now national debt. It was in the $36 trillion range when I started. And my criticism of the Republican Party, and I would not be a Democrat, but the Republican Party does not have a plan to attack and reverse the national debt. You've got to cut the deep state to do it, and I'll lead the charge on that. Even if Whatley could somehow get elected, which he cannot, all you have would be status quo republicanism, kicking the can down the road. At some point, the dollar will collapse. It will be over for our great constitutional republic when that happens. So I'm going to bring a war to the Senate to try to save this republic.
And there's a reason why General Flynn endorses you,
That's
and
right.
Sidney Powell and Alan West and Cowboy Logic. All right,
Don, hold on one second, Donna. Don, we've only got a couple of minutes left. Primaries. One of the things that Republicans and conservatives do is many of them do not take primaries seriously. It's time to do that, North Carolina. Tell them all about the primary, when it's taking place, and why we could lose before we even start winning if we don't get off of sofas and get to the primaries.
Well, North Carolina, unfortunately, has one of the first primaries in the nation. Primary day is March 3rd.
This is what 92 hair washes can do in 6 months. Not 10 washes, not 30 washes, exactly 92, because that's how long your hair growth cycle takes to go from dormant follicles to visible new growth. And thousands of men are posting their progress online, and the transformations are impossible to ignore. Week 8, baby hairs start appearing at the temples.
But the General Assembly, for whatever reason, and many of us don't like this at all, has stretched early voting out 2 weeks. So early voting begins February 12th. This election essentially starts February the 12th. And we have one opportunity to get this right. There's only one candidate that can take out Roy Cooper. That's me. Nobody else can even come close. Whatley's campaign is dead on arrival before it starts. He's going to try to be banking on his chairmanship of the RNC. Even though we lost a lot of seats under that chairmanship, and he's going to be banking on the fact that Trump endorsed him, even though Trump came to North Carolina on the Friday before Christmas to try to bolster Whatley's failing candidacy and had the smallest crowd in history for a Trump rally. We've heard off the record that Trump was not pleased about that. Whatley is a candidate who will lose to Cooper. Cooper has name recognition. He is the most radical governor in the state's history. I will prosecute him all over the state. I will prosecute him on his record. I'm the only former criminal prosecutor in the race. I know how to do it. I know how to slice Cooper's record up into pieces and expose him for the radical he is. Nobody else can do that. We've got one shot. We've got to win this primary here and now, and it will be a shot heard around the world, and it will show that the Make America Great movement is still alive. My victory on March 3rd and on the morning of March 4th will do just that. We got to have our folks out. We got to have our conservatives out. We've got to go to the primary. We got to tell everybody Don Brown for United States Senate, North Carolina.
Don Brown, FORNC, or just Brown, FORNC, folks. Please support him. I mean, I look at what people do, their actions. And the fact that Whatley and Tom Tillis are pretty much joined at the hip. Unfortunately, I don't think Donald Trump sees that because he won the election, and that really is the problem. But I'd much rather get endorsement from the likes of a General Flynn, a Sidney Powell, and Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, or Adam West, as I said earlier.
And Cowboy Logic.
That's right. That's right.
There you go.
Hey, Trump won the election, but Whatley lost the mandate of the American people.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cowboy Logic shall return. Get the drums ready. Party Drummers Rock.
Bet you didn't know.
Including Donna Fiducia. You guys, we didn't say anything about this, and we caught you completely off guard. Dana, you better have seen that, or we are going to be hugely disappointed.
He's out rolling the smoke.
You guys tell me if that's something you'd like us to use from time to time.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Donna drumming. She was in a big arena when she was doing that. That was so impressive. All right, we are going to bring in...
Cowboy Logic Laser.com.
Go order your drumsticks.
Own set of Cowboy Logic drumsticks.
And they come autographed.
Yes.
Signature series, I think, is what we need to say on that.
Is that what it is? All right.
All right, we've got one of our favorite little people, and I do mean little. Hi, little Sarah.
Hello.
Sarah stopped growing up when she was 9.
No, she didn't. But she is.
No, seriously, how tall are you? I can ask that.
I'm 5'2".
Oh, with heels.
With heels.
All right,
but
Sarah Maccabee
this is our daughter from
yep,
another mister.
This is little sister, daughter. Yeah, she could be our daughter.
Yeah, she could be our daughter,
right,
which is really sad.
Yeah, and if you're on Jerry Springer, she could be our granddaughter. Okay, listen, Sarah. For those of you that have been absent for the past 5 years, Sarah is the co-founder of Stand in the Gap Foundation. Stand in the Gap Foundation is the website. And this is an organization that backs J6ers, both help them and their families during their incarceration periods, along with some legal fees and helping get reestablished in their world when they lost everything. But it's a foundation that is not just going to end once J6 dwindles off into the sunset. This is a foundation that is also designed for prison reform, rehabilitation reform, reacclimation back into society. It is a long-term goal foundation. And you've seen Stand in the Gap and Sarah on Real America's Voice constantly.
Yeah. RAV is awesome.
And I think that what's going on here is that we are having more people, more J6ers reaching out to you than, quite frankly, the donations are adding up to be able to help. Is that a good way to frame this? I mean, you guys aren't the only ones that are seeing these commercials. J6ers are.
Yeah.
And when they see the commercials or they see the promo for the documentary, they're hammering Sarah and Shane for assistance and help. So we are bringing Sarah on to let you know that we've got to get money back into that foundation big time. So, Sarah, we're going to let you talk about the needs and some of the things you guys are doing and some of the hurdles you're faced, especially given the fact you're having so much publicity about the foundation.
No, thank you for bringing me on and giving us a chance to talk about this. You guys have just been instrumental in helping January 6th defendants while they were incarcerated and since that they've been out. And I will say the need is now greater that they are home versus when they were incarcerated.
You're not going to believe what this shampoo does to your hair. I've seen men go from this thin, patchy, receding to this visibly thicker, stronger, healthier hair in just a few months.
When they were incarcerated, they had the American people praying, writing, putting money on their books. They had people coming to visit them. They had a roof over their head. They had 3 meals a day. And when they got out, they didn't walk back into the life that they had 4 years ago, and they're having to reacclimate into society. You're having 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old men and their families that are having to move back in with their parents because they lost their home, they sold their home, they have no income right now, they're just doing odd and end jobs. And it's really sad to watch. I have said time and time again, as you know, Don and Donna, we've been on the phone, how do you explain to the American people that these individuals were quite literally kidnapped by their own government, taken away from their families immediately, no time to prepare, nothing to get in place, pull money out of retirement, 401k, sell something. They had massive attorney fees. And then when they get out, they just have nothing to come home to. And it is heartbreaking to hear these stories, to listen to the wives and the mothers and the children and the defendants themselves who they don't want to ask for help. They never asked to be in this position, but you have just the injustice that has continued for these individuals because, yes, President Trump signed the pardon and they were out. 12 individuals are still fighting for their pardons. But these individuals were released from prison, but nothing has happened since then. There has been no accountability. There has been no checks written to them. Some of them have civil lawsuits, but that takes years. And so Stand in the Gap is kind of one of the only organizations left for January 6 defendants. And the emergency requests that we are getting from people, it's just heartbreaking. They can't pay their bills, their phone bills, their medical bills, their housing, trying to get them vehicles so they can get from point A to point B. Because I will say every defendant that I have talked to, they don't want to hand out, they want to hand up. But people have just forgotten about them. And so we are here to remind the American people that we absolutely need your help. I agree that taxpayers shouldn't have to be paying for these individuals, but it has been the American patriots that have kept them afloat for the last 5 years.
Yeah, that really is the problem. When they were incarcerated, boy, it was amazing. I mean, our RAV family is just so supportive, and we so appreciate that. And you think, well, you get out, you're pardoned, everything's fine. But like you say, it was like you were kidnapped for 4 years. And there was no planning for this. I mean, Don Lemon's already out on bail. I mean, come on. You know, and the thing is, the double standard is so crazy. And the fact that these people have nothing or have lost. I mean, asking people, hey, how's your honey-do list now because you've been incarcerated for 4 years? Oh, well, I don't have a honey-do list because I lost my house, you know, and they laugh about it, but it's sad, and you need to, if you don't laugh, you're going to cry, is really the bottom line. And we're talking about 1,600 people.
Yeah, and I will say, you're talking about, like, people will come on shows and they will go on podcasts and they put on a really strong front. I've seen it. I've done it myself, being affected by this personally. But I will say what goes on behind closed doors is absolutely heartbreaking because these individuals truly have lost everything and they are trying to rebuild, but they're having to rebuild in ways that, like, imagine being 40, 50, 60 years old and truly having to restart your life. Some of these people don't have family and friends that they could go to because they turned their backs on them. Some of them lost their families. And that's the thing that doesn't go away with a presidential pardon. It doesn't go away even with the government writing them some sort of check. That is long-term mental, emotional things that they are going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Well, and we got about a minute left before we go to break, and we'll have you back for the next segment. But, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand that this is a nonprofit organization. And am I correct in saying that? Okay. Yes. I just want to make sure. There is an application process that these J6ers, anybody that's wanting funding from Stand in the Gap, there's an application process they have to go to. And this young lady is extremely objective, but also the epitome of responsible with your funds that you donate. Okay? And it's not that she heavily scrutinizes and doesn't give to this person because she doesn't like them. You scrutinize this money because you value the fact that these are donations from the American people to help out various causes right now, especially related to J6. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a safe place to make a donation.
Yep.
Because Sarah Maccabee can account for every penny that comes in and every penny that goes out. And I know this to be a fact because I've asked her for some of these numbers, and she can pull over in her car on the side of the road and give me the data that I'm looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, we are with the wonderful, our little daughter, Sarah Maccabee, and we're going to be back.
Everybody, Donna Fiducia here to talk to you about Cowboy Logic Laser.com. And boy, do we have so many goodies. We have the glasses. Well, first of all, we have the highball glasses and your cocktail glasses, Cowboy Logic Laser.com. Or you have the carpenter pencils, which Don loves so much, and he shows them all the time on our show. And, well, it comes with a sharpener, too. CowboyLogicLaser.com. And you got coffee mugs. Anything you want, they can laser it on. Now, this one I'm not even going to open up because I almost chopped my finger off first time, but they do have a Cowboy Logic laser knife as well. Anything you want, CowboyLogicLaser.com, CowboyLogicLaser.com, promo code 1776, get you 10% off, folks. And the stuff is just really great. It supports the show, and we really do appreciate it. CowboyLogicLaser.com.
All right, welcome back. There's your buddy, Eric Willard, jamming on the guitar.
Well,
we like
amazing.
old Eric Willard. All right, Sarah Maccabee, let's get you back in here so we can maximize this time. One of the things that was a huge disadvantage that none of these J6ers and none of us, quite frankly, thought about was that when they were pardoned on January 20th, early morning 21 of 2025, they were released immediately from prisons and jails. They did not have, and I use this term tongue-in-cheek, they did not have the luxury of moving from being incarcerated into a halfway house where they could start, even at a minimal level, acclimating back into society and building their future, as small and as simple as it may be, doing it from a halfway house. But I can tell you that those that were released before the pardon are doing better than those that were released with the pardon, because they were able to go into halfway houses and start rebuilding their lives without having to immediately figure out, where are we going to live?
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Boom. If you want to expand on the impact, that while we were glad to see them all, it was a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine going from having no freedom at all, that you're told when to wake up, if you can go to work, if you're working in a prison facility, when you can eat, when you can go to bed, when you can make a phone call, when you can watch TV. I mean, you're told pretty much every decision. And then within a matter of minutes, you're walking out of those prison gates and you have every freedom back. It is overwhelming. And I really don't know how to convey that these individuals lived in a shoebox. I mean, they truly lived in a shoebox for the majority of the time that they were incarcerated until they went off to federal prison. And how do you acclimate back to society like that so quickly? You know,
Watch what happens when a 50-year-old man walks DHT naturally for just 90 days. Day 1.
These people truly are struggling, you know, and I will say, over the last 60 days, we have gotten $60,000 worth of requests at Stand in the Gap in regards to emergency assistance and even some legal fees, because individuals are still fighting civil cases back in Washington, D.C. And I am proud to say that we have fulfilled the applications that come in. As long as they meet all of our guidelines, we have fulfilled at least a portion to alleviate. Because like I said, we're getting the last 4 applications that I got, one was 10,000, one was 6,000, another one was 6,000, one was 8,000. I got a letter from a landlord that these individuals had not been able to pay their rent going on 6 months now. So it's not only about the future of rebuilding, it's trying to make up for the things that they had lost. Thankfully, they still have a place to live. But this is what these individuals are going through, and it truly is heartbreaking.
What's so important is to have family and friends support these people, too. And in so many cases, that was totally shattered. Families split because of it. During the break, you were talking about a farmer who needs to pay his property taxes. He's about to lose his farm. And talk about that a little bit. I mean, it's just one individual case, but it's so, unfortunately, just one of many stories.
Yeah, it's a military veteran who has a family farm, generational farm, and because he hasn't been able to work, he has back taxes of $8,000 that he has to pay back. They're going to start placing liens and just taking things away from him. He is in jeopardy of losing his family generational farm, and that's just one request that we have gotten over this time period. These are real things at stake for these people, and we just simply cannot forget about them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing also, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to try to wrap your head around and put yourself in the position that I'm about to describe. Many of these J6ers prior to 2021 had successful careers. Many of them were blue collar. Some of them were law enforcement, first responders. But now, when they go to fill out an application and they put, and the prospective employer puts John Doe in a Google search, what ends up happening is they get 20 pages of Google search material that talks about this person being an insurrectionist.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna use our mutual brother, Jeff McKellop, as an example. Jeff McKellop, 22 years Special Forces, 10 years as a CIA contractor, had TS clearance on January 6th, never been in trouble with the law, was making a pant load of money on January 6th, had 2 homes, had a family that was together, had a brand new car, and life was good. He goes to prison for 4 years. He's never convicted and sentenced of anything. He's released on January 20th, late at night. Ron Phillips picks him up. All he's got on are his prison sweats.
Yeah.
And when he applies for a job, now you remember, this man is the elite warrior. When he applies for a job, the prospective employer does a Google search for him. 20-something pages come up that he's an insurrectionist. He can't even get a job at a sporting goods store.
Yeah. And he was never even tried.
That's what they're faced with. You know, Sarah, and you can verify this, I do not think that the vast majority of J6ers are sitting on their asses waiting for a handout or a government payoff.
No.
There are some that are doing that, but you know how to weed them out. The vast majority of these people are unemployable because of Google searches and misinformation about these individuals. I hired a J6er. Maybe you can too.
No, their reputations are destroyed because it's not even that Google search. A lot of people don't know that there is no route for federal expungement. So even though these individuals, the ones that were tried and convicted, even though they were pardoned, when you pull up their background check, it pulls up every charge. And then at the bottom, it says fully and unconditionally pardoned by the president. But you have all of those charges that popped up. People have already preconceived notions, and then they go do a Google search and all of the negative press comes up. And it's just really sad to see, because you're absolutely right. These people are not waiting for a handout. They truly aren't. They weren't like that before. They are just simply trying to crawl themselves out of this hole that they never asked to be in, to get back to a somewhat normal life of what they had prior to this.
Yeah. Well, and I can tell you this, not to dispute what you just said, but I've run background checks on them, and at least when I ran them, which was in 25, it didn't say anything about a pardon down there at the bottom. And I was talking to some lawyers about how to get that fixed. It doesn't show up on a state background check. It does show up on a federal background check. But I'm telling you, these prospective employers are putting as much weight on social media and Google searches than they are a background check.
Yeah.
And when you've got solid human beings that any of us would like to have as a neighbor that are being denied employment because of a Google search, America, we got to stand up and we got to come to the rescue of this. And this is how you do it. Sarah, I'm going to give you the last word on this.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. You know, Stand in the Gap was started out of the belly of the beast in the DC jail from the atrocities that we were witnessing happening to these people. And it truly transformed. We had the long-term vision of even in January 6th that, you know, we had the hope that President Trump was going to do what he said. And by the grace of God, he did. And these individuals got out. We knew that it was going to be hard. To be honest with you, I didn't know that it was going to be this hard. You know, I thought people would start being able to piece things back together. But, you know, going back to federal expungement to answer some people's questions, what you have to, so it's not only about not getting the job, right? I mean, you think, take Colt, for example. He's 32 years old. And so he has his entire life ahead of him. And that background check comes back with 6 felonies on him, even though he didn't do anything of what they said. That background check comes back. So what we have to do is pay an attorney to petition the court to seal his case. And once they agree to do that, then you have to go petition the FBI to seal that case. Once those two things happen, that will never pop up again on his background check. But again, that takes money. So not only are you denied a job, but also to get started back in that application process and trying to get your name somewhat cleared, it takes money. All of this stuff takes money. And I am not the person to sit here with my hand out, but I will say it is only because of American patriots, people like Robin Parker at Real America's Voice, Don and Donna with Cowboy Logic. You guys really have moved the needle for these individuals. I've seen it, everything that comes in and everything that goes out. We wouldn't be able to do it without y'all, but truly the American patriots, I would encourage people, because this is so long-term. Stand in the Gap is not funded by high-dollar donors. We're not. In the beginning, people didn't even want to touch us. So it was $5, $10, $20 donations. But on our page, we have an option for reoccurring donors. So if you can afford $5 a week, $50 a month, whatever it is that you can afford, please go on there and set up a reoccurring donation, because even though you don't think it's much, when you play the numbers game and more than just one person does it, it truly does. And that's reoccurring money that will go out every single time somebody applies for assistance.
All right, we got to jump. We love you, Sarah Maccabee. Stand in the Gap. Foundation. We'll be right back.
On payroll, still walking free, what a play. Grandpa and grandma zip tied on the floor, while BLM tore cities, yo, beg for more. Pelosi's laptop lost, the footage stays sealed. Every lie you stack is a blade we wield. You built the gallows, we'll hang your decree from C to B. Our face breaks free. Can you taste the iron in the air tonight?
All right, welcome back, everybody. Still there.
Still there.
It's a song that Donna and I wrote based on conversations that we had for 4 years with J6ers. We wrote this song. We put it out. It's been released now. If you download it, any of the money that we receive from this song, 100% of the money that we receive from this song, we will donate to Stand in the Gap, and it will be used for J6ers. And I mean 100%. There's no money that would be paid back to us for recording expenses and things like that.
Yep.
100%. If you stream it, we get mice nuts that we send to...
It's like 99 cents.
No.
Oh.
Pennies.
Oh, pennies.
If you stream it.
Oh.
If you download it, we might be able to get $1 that we could then send to Stand in the Gap. So we've got 1.5 million to 1,750,000 viewers. Let's try to get some money for Stand in the Gap with this record. We are giving this away. We're going to bring on a gentleman that we have never had the pleasure or the honor of being able to interview. But you guys know who this guy is.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you follow J6 at all, you know who this guy is. You might not know his name, but you know what happened to him on January 6th. Let's bring him on, Ron. This is Derek Vargo. Hey, Derek. Great to see you, my man. Derek is the man, folks, who was pushed off the ledge by Capitol Police Officer Bryant Williams. He fell 30 feet. And, you know, Derek, the thing that gets me about the whole thing, I'm not a police officer. I've seen enough police shows to know that you don't get pushed off like that, that you get pulled in and you get handcuffed if that's a problem. But it's ruined your life. Tell us about your story and what's happening to you now.
Okay. So I live in Ohio, and I drove to Columbus to catch on a bus with a bunch of GOP supporters and Trump supporters, and we headed down to D.C. I didn't know anybody. I was literally going because I had been to Trump rallies. I was going because I wanted to hear my president give his last speech. Didn't know if we were ever going to get to enjoy a MAGA rally and all that again. Those were really fun. But anyways, I go there. And I watch him in his speech, and afterwards I went over to the Washington Memorial, and just to touch it real quick, and I got myself a Trump flag for about $20-25 and just started marching towards the Capitol. And I got to the Capitol. There's chaos going on. Bike racks are already thrown over. There's smoke bombs going off. People are getting shot in the face with pellets. Some guy had a hole in his face. No idea what's going on. But anyways, get to my part. I see a guy who's on a makeshift building about 4 stories up, and he's waving the American flag. And you just had to be there that day. But that man waving that American flag gave me the biggest, it was so cool. It was like Braveheart, man. And I was like, I'm going to take my Trump flag and I'm going to take it up those steps, to just be the next, It's not as good as the American flag, but, it's Trump flag. So I start to go up to the steps and people are shoving. There's police shoving. And I'm like, I don't want to hurt anybody and I don't want to get in any trouble. So I'm going to just scale this wall so I can get up towards the side and wave my Trump flag. I start scaling the wall, as you'll see in the video, and I look between, you see me, I'll be looking between the, as I'm scaling up, not falling down, but you'll see me, those little holes in the cement, I was peeking through those in the beginning when I'm trying to climb up it, and an officer put his hand through there and starts pepper spraying me. And that's when I just thought, I want to wave my Trump flag. I don't want to die. These guys, they obviously don't care what happens to me. So you literally see me immediately stand up and go the opposite way of where I was going to get down. Immediately when that happens, this huge black officer comes charging at me with 2 hands, shoves me off, and I just grabbed some air and went down. Passed out. Right, and hit the ground.
When you landed, do you remember anything at all?
No, I went completely black. I remember the pain. I remember a really nasty pain from my spine going like this, because when I hit, all right, that's another weird thing. I've got, hey, I can talk now. I had a dream. I was having dreams in 2017. I kid you not. I started having these weird dreams about me falling from weird distances. And I never put, it wasn't political. I'd be in the middle of a forest. I had no idea what's going on. It was like God was preparing me for this. I kid you not. One day I woke up and I sat on the side of my bed and I just thought, like, if I ever fell from that distance, how would I take it? I'm telling you this. I had these dreams since 2017. Wow. When I fell from that wall, I fell down the exact way that I started thinking, all those times. When I fell down, yes, I threw my hands up to grab some air. Your ankle is the first thing that buckles, then your kneecaps, then your hips, and then everything else. My chest went into my knees. That's why I felt that in my spine. But I kid you not, that's literally the way, like, it's almost like God was preparing me for this. And there's more to this. God is completely involved in this. So then I fall down. I'm passed out. As you see, I got carried on a makeshift gurney, was made out of like a bike rack. And they took me into the ambulance. This is where I came back to conscious. I was in the ambulance. They're already driving. I have no idea. I was probably in the ambulance for maybe a minute or two, I think. I don't remember, before I hit the hospital. So I don't know how long I was in it. But I get to the hospital, and these two guys in suits come up to me. I don't know if they were feds or if they were Secret Service, but they literally, this is all they said. They came up to me and they said, "Did you make it in?" And I'm just sitting there, obviously, like, "Are you stupid? I'm in a hospital. And obviously I didn't make it in." And I was like, "No." And they're like, "All right, that's all I need to know." And they left. And then I start screaming at them, and I say, "First of all, how did you know I was back here? Do you know what HIPAA privacy is?" Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm ticked off because I want to know why. Why didn't you even ask me, am I all right? Why didn't you ask me what I was doing?
So wait a minute, hold on. They ask you if you made it in, as in the Capitol?
Yeah. That's all they wanted to know. "Did you make it in?" And I was like, "No." And they left. And that's when I started getting mad, when they started walking away. And I said, "You're going to tell me who you are. What, this and that." Anyways, I ended up getting put in a boot, and they tell me I need emergency surgery on my foot. I get out of my boot, and I literally I tried to hop on the first bus I could and get back to my bus area where I need.
This plug-and-play device quietly replaces your cable box, and it's legal, easy to use, and only takes 60 seconds to
needed to be to catch my bus and get back. And I was just having all the hope in the world that it'd still be there, and I'm flying on crutches. Wow. And I knew it wasn't going to be there, but I went anyways. Got there, bus isn't there. And this is another moment where God steps in. Holy cow. Mind you, I took a bus down there. I have nowhere to go. I have nothing. I don't have a cell phone. Because I didn't have a cell phone then. I didn't bring a cell phone with me or nothing. It's like God literally prepared me for this. So I'm sitting there. Bus doesn't come. I throw my crutches down and lay down, because on the way there, cops wouldn't help me at all. I was asking for rides. They wouldn't help me. But I throw my crutches down. I lay down on the sidewalk next to the street, and God sends 3 angels. I kid you not. 3 women, right when I'm laying down, come right around the corner, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you all right?" And the lady who took care of me, her name was Monique. She came up, and they go, "You're the guy that fell? That was you?" I was like, "Yes." I was like, I don't know what to do. And they were like, "Oh, you're coming with us. You're coming with us, whatever." They go to get, we stopped by McDonald's, and I was like, I wasn't hungry. They got me a little fry anyways, whatever. Before we were even done with McDonald's, she already had me a hotel at the Hamptons it's like a 2-bed, all by myself. She was trying to feed me. And before I got to that hotel, she had me a plane ticket ready to go back to Ohio the next day. And not only that, when I was done, I woke up the next day. She picked me up. And not only that, she wheeled me all the way in there. And dude, I'm telling you, God is real.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And God never fails. Hold that thought. We got to go to a break. We got a hard out.
This is the first time Derek Vargo has spoken in 5 years about that tragedy that really happened to him. It's amazing to me that you obviously were very strong, that you could have even gotten out of the hospital in that condition. We'll be back with more right after this.
How do you stay so fresh after 4 years of prison soap?
Man, it was tough, but I tell you what, the people from Sugar Creek Goods have really hooked me up.
Oh.
I prefer the Indiana sweet corn myself.
Yeah?
But for you, so just to get this whole smell off of you,
yeah,
I'm going to recommend the Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah.
And if you order from them, you can get the Cowboy Logic collection. And the donations go to January 6 defendants. And at the same time, you can use promo code 1776 and save yourself a little bit of money. And that includes something for the ladies. The body butter. Sugar Creek Goods. Whatever you need, it's just right for that time. You'll smell fresh and good. Even the horses love it.
You want to pay J6ers? You're damn right I want to pay J6ers. If you got wronged by the government, then you should be made right. That's America.
Pay them now. And if anybody needs to pay now, it's the Jan Sixer we've been talking to, and that is Derek Vargo, who was pushed off the ledge, fell 30 feet by Capitol Police Officer Bryant Williams. And to this day, Derek, nobody has actually paid the price for this. Your ankle was shattered. You had a boot on. Your back is messed up. You're on crutches. And you actually left the hospital, and you say 3 angels of God basically got you to the airport and got you to fly back home. I mean, you obviously had to be in great condition to begin with, to be able to get out of there in the same day. But talk about your lawsuit, because you had a lawyer that supposedly was filing everything for you, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. I got an attorney in the fall after we kind of like figured everything out, and the attorney was told specifically, I'm doing an interview for the Gateway Pundit. Like everybody's getting arrested at this moment. I'm already worried I'm going to get arrested. So I told the person, or I told the attorney, I said, make sure that you have my paperwork in, and that we are pursuing Bryant Williams, the Capitol Police officer, and the actual Capitol Police, and anybody and their mother who is involved. I want their paperwork in before this goes out on the internet, this interview, because if I'm in a jail cell, it's going to be really hard to try to sue the Capitol while defending myself from the Capitol inside of a jail cell. So he said, he said he had the paperwork in. So we put the interview on. Paperwork was never submitted. He completely lied about it. I kept asking, and he would call me, and I didn't bother him. And my attorney would call me, and he would my attorney would call me, and he would act like we're about to do it. We're about to do it. Are you sure you want to do this? Are you ready? Yes. I told you to have this done before you put the interview up. I wanted this done forever ago. Come on. Keeps doing this. I kid you not, for 2 years straight. This was supposed to be done in the beginning. For 2 years straight, he's doing this crap. And finally, it gets to the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
And,
gee, how convenient.
Yeah. And his attitude goes from, we're going to do this, to, you know what, if I were you, I wouldn't do it.
So and you go pro
right
se.
Answered every question in my mind. Somebody's getting paid to keep me quiet, because my story would have flipped the whole narrative, and all the crap we went through since January 6th would have been a completely different story.
Yeah, and the fact that you didn't didn't go to jail. You didn't get arraigned.
You were never charged with anything at all.
And it fits.
Well, the reason that they didn't charge you is they don't want to see you, man.
They don't want to see that.
My case would have been a nuclear bomb in a courtroom is what it would have been.
That's right.
It would have destroyed the narrative.
I want to say a couple of things here and make sure that I get this in before the end of this segment. Number one, at some point, you reached out to one of the good guy lawyers, Jonathan Gross.
Yeah,
and I want to do a hat tip to John Gross, because John Gross is a solid human being. And
absolutely,
I tell you, you can count them on one hand, the good lawyers.
Yeah. So many of the J6 lawyers are just basically screwed everybody, took their money, and that was it.
The other thing that I want to bring up here is the fact that the J6, the new and improved J6, J6 committee has probably not reached out to talk to you. Am I correct?
I've never been reached out to by anybody except for my attorneys and Kara Castronova.
And the two feds.
Weird.
Kara's doing great work with this too. But and the two feds that saw you in the hospital. Yeah, that two feds that saw you in the hospital. That was when they said, no, we don't want to have anything to do with this guy.
Representative Loudermilk, isn't it weird that you haven't reached out to Derek Vargo?
You know,
hey, let me ask you this. Would you be willing, if that committee, the new J6 committee, Loudermilk, sent you a subpoena and had you come in, would you swear and testify under oath?
Oh, my goodness. With a smile on my face.
Loudermilk. What's up?
Here's the thing. Derek, you're an auto tech by trade. You know, you're one of the deplorables, as we all are, right? Your astuteness when I talked to you was amazing, because one thing you did notice on January 6th was the fact that it wasn't red, white, and blue out there with a lot of the police. It was red, white, and baby blue.
Cut your cable and streaming bills to zero without changing how you watch TV.
Netflix and Apple pray you never find out about this. This tiny device lets you stream movies from any premium platform or paid channel without the costly monthly fees. Just stick it into your TV's.
Or it was just baby blue, I should say. And those are UN colors.
Saw a lot of black and baby blue.
Yeah, I'm sorry, black and baby. But still, those are UN colors. I'm, wondering, could they have been involved? It fits.
Weird.
Yep.
Our military is the same as our police. Everything down to the smallest details matters, even color. And I'm telling you what, when it comes to being tactical, baby blue belongs in the sky, and that's it. Why are Capitol police officers wearing baby blue helmets? I'd like to know. I'm just curious. Are we the United Nations now?
Might be a fashion statement, just saying. Might be a fashion statement, After all, didn't Hillary wear that powder blue man suit all the time?
No, I thought that was Monica Lewinsky. Oh, no, it was darker.
No, that was a dark blue dress. Hey, listen, it's been very disturbing to us that a year has gone by with the Republicans holding control of the House, the Senate, and, of course, the White House. Mm-hmm. And none of you guys have been brought into this new and improved. You know what? They haven't even called us.
No. I think they had one meeting so far.
I mean, this is a joke, ladies and gentlemen, that's going on up here on Capitol Hill. And if you wait long enough, statute of limitations going to run out on all this stuff.
The thing that really gets me again. You don't have a give, send, go. You're not looking for any money. You're working, thank God. You obviously have to hobble around a little bit more, and your back's messed up.
Yeah, but so do I, man. Join the hobble club.
But he shouldn't have had that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have had it.
Okay.
Hey, listen, we close every show, Derek, with the most beautiful national anthem ever sung, that by our beloved J6ers in C2B. Gentlemen, hats off. Ladies and gentlemen, hands over your hearts. We'll see you guys next week. We appreciate the fact that you trust us with 2 hours of your time. Derek, thank you, brother, for joining us.
Thank you, Derek. God bless.
We'll see you guys next week.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, words so gallantly stream. And to the republic for which it stands, and the rocket's red banner, one nation, under God. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everybody. Kelly Meggs. I'm sure you know me at this point if you watch Don and Don at all. But tonight I let the dogs out for the last time and was kind of doing my nightly ritual. I sit outside a lot because I don't like being inside because of the jail sale thing. But I reflected a lot on this past week and with Charlie Kirk being assassinated and everything that happened with him. Our prayers all go out to him, but we also have a sense of what can we do? What can we do as Americans and as citizens to stand up against this? And what we can do is we can support companies that support us and support what we believe in our country. And Sugar Creek Goods is one of those companies. I just took a shower, like before bed. That's what I do every night. And I thought about this while I was in the shower. I'm like, this is a fantastic product. Not only is it an amazing product, but it's a company that supports our beliefs and in America. So if you want to do something, use your promo code 1776 and make a difference. Buy from an American company that supports Americans. It supports what we believe in. Not what the media and everybody else tells you to believe in, but the truth. Use your promo code 1776. And God bless you. And God bless America.